Hi, everybody in middle school, 5th through 8th grade. It is Wednesday and it is time for another computer class. Now, for today's computer class, what we're going to do is I'm going to walk through it very quickly. I am going to try to keep this video fairly short because this is a week where you need to do some work and mostly independently. If you were in my room, if it was a typical year, this would be the type of class where I'm not constantly giving instructions, we're making something together, but you really have to work on your own. So you're not going to hear as much from me today. Um, and that's the case a couple times during this project that we have going on for the next few weeks. Now, I'm going to take a look at the post for today, and you see this in Google Classroom. It says, number one, make sure to go back and look at all of the original materials on the post under November 4th if necessary. That is really important. And here's why. In each class, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and 8th grade, I had only a portion of students in class pick a topic last week. That was aside from understanding everything we're doing, reading through everything, thinking about it, and some others. The only real thing you had to do by the end of class last week was pick a topic, right? If I go back and I look at number one, the post from last week, and this is my sample class, and I look and I see this document right here. And I look and I do not see a topic by my name because I did not pick one. I did not submit it in the comments. I did not do my work from last week. Well, I need to do that. Also, see how we have all the different posts. This one from November 4th, that is the one that has the overview that tells everything that we're doing for each week, an explanation of everything for this project. So, do not be afraid to go back to previous weeks. You might need to be reminded of what your topic is. You might need to make things up if you're behind, and that's what the first direction says. The second direction, let's get back to it here, says look at the document with topics from 11.4. If your name has a topic by it, that is the topic you've picked. If your name doesn't have a topic by it, you didn't do what you needed to last week and need to do it. That's what I just explained. Number three, watch the video, which is the video that you're watching right now with details and instructions for today. By the end of today, you should have your topic, the one from last week, research started, and the research planning page filled in at least halfway. Now let's look at what that is. And I'm just using one. I'm not going to go to the one for each class because they repeat and just have some differences per topic, but it's going to look something like this. It's a research planning page. This happens to be the one for 5th grade. Now, the best way for me to work is to have this open in one tab or one window, and we've talked about how to arrange your screen, split your screen, go back and forth between things, and another box to search or pull up information in the other. The basic idea is that I'm looking at how this information is divided up on the left, and I'm typing in answers or data, information, facts, whatever it may be, on the right. Now, you don't have to go in order. Let's just say, for instance, somebody was looking up information about a country, and I'm going to use the country Peru. And I'm going to say I'm looking up information about Peru, and one of the first things that I find to talk about is food in my country. I could go ahead and I could fill those things in here, right? About food in my country. I see that the box is fairly small to begin with, but with each of these boxes, they will expand to be as big as you want. You can write as much as you want in them, and it will just keep expanding onto the page, into multiple pages, and so on. So I can find that information. I can go out of order if I want. And one other thing I'm going to mention that's really particular about this is that at the end it says copy and paste links to any websites you used here. We are going to make something which is, it's basically called a works cited page, even though it may not be as formal as a works cited page for, say, like a high school English class. But we are going to say what websites we got our information from. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to start off with having our links here. Keep that in mind. This is for every grade, and I'll give an example of that in just a minute when we get to it. Now, how do we find that information? Well, there's three different ways. First, I'm going to go back to Google Classroom. For 5th, 6th, and 8th grade, I gave you guys a couple helpful links to start. 7th grade, Not really possible for your topic because there's not one website that's going to have links about each of your topics. They're going to be on all different ones, so it's not really as possible to try to be helpful. But for a topic like countries, there's tons of sites with country information for kids. So the first way to go about getting that information is to use some of the links that I've given you that are right here in today's post in Google Classroom. So if I click on this one about countries, now I have my research planning page that I can work in one tab, this web page right here on countries in the other, and I don't know if Peru is definitely on this page, but let's give it you know what? Just to speed up the video because I'm trying to make the videos quicker. Let's just say we don't worry about Peru and we just go to let's say Jamaica. Here we go. We go to Jamaica. So we've driven to Jamaica and now we have some information. I have it right here. I go and I fill in that information here, right? But at the end, if I used information from this website, this is what I do for the last box right here about the links. I go and I look at the link. That's the whole address up here in this top bar. I give it a click, or if I need to, I select it all and highlight it. I do a copy, and we know that there's a keyboard shortcut, or we can hold down Alt and press the trackpad button. I go back to my planning page and I do a paste. All right, and then I press enter. That is how we're going to copy and paste links from websites that we used. And it's also the first way that we can search for information using those helpful links that I've given. Now, notice I did not ask you to copy and paste anything into these other boxes. These should be where you record information in your own words, where you type in information, and you can do that in a couple of ways. You could type word for word, or you could paraphrase and just type the most important notes. But this is where you're taking all of the notes that you need that you're then going to use to make into a Google slide. That's the first way to search. The second and third way are using a search engine. Now, I talked about this before just during this year and in previous years. Here's the thing. Doing a search on Google is perfectly fine in some people's households. However, in other people's households, they might not like you just having free search in Google or Google Images. So I'm going to show how to do it the way that is definitely appropriate for school using this website called Kids Search, and it's kids with a Z, and it's a safe search engine for kids. That's the one I'm going to use for my example that I will say I suggest. If in your household searching on Google is fine, then you could make that decision along with your family, along with your parents at home. But for me, I'm going to show how I search in Kids Search, and I'm just going to show two quick examples, two different ways. First, I'm going to do a broad search, right? I'll go back to my example about doing the country of Peru, and you think of whatever your example is, but I'll say facts about Peru. I could even do it in a broader way and just type in the word Peru by itself. But either of those, they're going to give me some websites, and it's going to have 12 interesting facts about Peru, interesting facts about Peru, fun facts, fun Peru facts for kids. Here, this looks like a good one. And I can search and then look at my search results and go onto the websites that way to find information. That's a broad search. That's going to give us more information about a lot of different things to do with your topic. Right? And that's one way to search, a broad search. The other way, this website's taking a long time to load here. Oh, that website's not working. But in any case, what I would then do is I would go on that website, read through it. You have to read to do this. And I would find facts to go and record in my document here. The other thing is, let's just say, for instance, you did a few broad searches. You used my helpful links and you filled in all of these, maybe this one and this one, but you didn't see anything about sports and recreation in your country, or in other topics, one specific detail or specific thing you're trying to find, whether that be for the future careers in 8th grade, whether that be for the how-to in 7th grade, or the inventor or scientist in 6th grade. If you need something specific, you can then go and do a more specific search rather than broad. Instead of just typing in Peru or facts about Peru, I want to know sports and recreation in Peru. All right. And then what's going to happen is I am going to find more specific websites that are going to tell me specific details that I'm searching for. So that's the difference between a broad search and a more specific or direct search, right? To find this information. Now, this is up to you to do, to work on your own. And for today, I would be happy if you had half of this page filled in with information. I made these research planning pages to go right along with your Google slideshows, right? So it should be very easy to take these and turn them into a Google slideshow. I'm not looking for any long paragraphs. I'm not looking for pages and pages of information for each one. You just want to get good important details for each one of these things on the planning page. If you can get half of it filled in today, that's wonderful. If you get more than half and can go on, that's fine. But I do not want to hear or do not want to see people get a problem because they couldn't find something about their first thing and they got held up and didn't do any of the others. Don't worry about the order. The order that these are in really does not matter. All right, so we should be able to do this very well. This is a lot of independent work. This is something that you guys should be able to do with no problem. And if you do have issues, you can email me. You can message me through Google Classroom. But this is what we're working on this week. If you can get close to done, that's wonderful, but at least try to get half of this filled in. And then next week we'll be finishing it and starting to make our Google slideshow.